What's up, everybody? Welcome to the AP Seminar News Station. Today we are going to be looking at Part B of the exam. Before we begin, remember that this is a persuasive argument, so make sure your perspective is clear.
Oh yes, let's talk about that rubric. I've heard it's crazily complicated. Row 1 is establishing an argument. To get a high score in this category, you need to correctly identify the theme or issue that connects the sources. Make sure responses are driven by student perspectives independent from the sources.
For Row 2, establishing argument, to get a high score, the line of reasoning needs to be organized and well developed. Evidence should be explained and properly connected to claims to establish the argument.
Row 3, select and use evidence is about appropriately organizing and using evidence from multiple sources to develop the argument.
Lastly, Row 4, applying conventions. To get a high score, the debate needs to be clear to the reader with the given materials appropriately integrated into the rest of the argument. The sources also have to be accurately attributed. Also, make sure you don't go off topic at all, because then you'll be given a 0.
Now let's see some examples of good, medium, and low scoring exams.
Reporting from Rockford High School, Kendall and Ella are going to be showing us a high scoring example from Part B of the AP Seminar exam.
Thank you, Lauren. This example from 2023 received the highest score of 6 in all 4 rows of the rubric. This essay received a 6 in row 1 because the response presents an original take on the subject, proper awareness of the issue, and builds a practical, fair, and effective solution.
Row 2 received a 6 because there was a solid line of reasoning, and each claim was supported by the appropriate evidence.
Row 3 received a 6 because the evidence from sources is present in every paragraph. For example, the second paragraph connects sources A and D by using relevant evidence from the sources provided. This essay also connects sources A and C to strengthen the argument.
Row 4 received a 6 because it achieved both conditions that are required to score high for this section. It had clear communication in writing and effective integration of source material. This uses elevated word choice skillfully.
Thank you, Kendall and Ella. Next, we will send it over to Annabelle, who will be talking to us about the medium scoring example.
Sample B received the middle score in all 4 rows. Row 1 scored it a 4 because it accurately identifies connections between conflicting goals and has a clear argument of its own, stating that VR technology can help with global pollution while assisting in mental health as well. While this is all great, it got marked down because the perspective is too general and is taken directly from the sources without an original opinion from the student. Row 2 also scored in the middle section because their argument about balancing mental health and saving the planet is somewhat clear, but the commentary is mostly source-driven, without student input, and every piece of evidence introduced in a very simplistic manner. The evidence also lacks strong connections to the argument, and the commentary doesn't properly explain the nuances of the sources. Now sending it back to Lauren and Maddie to complete the rubric.
A new update from College Board headquarters. They have just released the score commentary for rows 3 and 4.
Row 3 earned 4 points. This only earned 4 points because it only used 2 sources accurately for evidence, but the evidence is insightful.
Row 4 earned 4 points because the writing does not enhance the argument. There are also no attempts to change the word choice and does not explain how sources emerged in a certain place or time.
Now we will be sending it back to Kendall and Ella to hear about example C.
Unfortunately, example C did not score very good because they got a 2 in each category. So row 1 consisted of mainly like a summary, and they didn't have any student perspectives, which is bad. Very bad.
Row 2 consists of minimal commentary, that it fails to establish the line of reasoning. The second paragraph is very repetitive to the ideas in the third paragraph, which you do not want at all. The response does not contribute to any ideas outside of the basic summary.
Row 3 scored a 2 because they only presented a brief list of ideas from sources A and D. The response talked too much about both sources and the evidence was too general.
Row 4 earned a 2 due to the flaws of grammar and the style of communication that is presented to the reader. It takes multiple tries to fully understand the point that the response is trying to get across with.
Now, sending it back to Annabelle, where she's going to finalize this segment of the Part B AP Seminar exam.
Overall, the AP Seminar exam may be difficult. However, make sure you skim through each stimulus source provided and get rid of any irrelevant information to the connection you are forming between 2 or more sources. Meeting the requirements from each row of the rubric will help you achieve that AP score you want. Good luck. Finally, we'll send it back to Kendall and Lauren for a last-minute announcement.
Thank you, Annabelle. Important reminder, Rams.
Make sure you get a good night's sleep so you don't run out of
Semergy.
Go when you're
How
ready.
many news hands? There's
Go when you're ready.
our news station. Today we're going to be looking at part B of the exam.
Row 1 is establishing an argument.
Just keep going, bro.
To get a high score in this category, you need to correctly identify the theme or issue that connects the sources. Make sure responses are driven by a student. Select and use evidence is about appropriately. Very bad.
What are you doing back there?
I feel so lonely over there. Okay, ready?
Integrated. Who wrote that? The sources
You
also
wrote that.
have to be.
Thank you.
Great, shut that video. Oh, you did.
Now we
Now, sending it back to Annabelle, where she's gonna finalize the segment for B AP Mint.
Overall, the AP Seminar Part B exam may be difficult. Dang it.
Today I'm here with. Have you taken AP seminar?
No,
Do you wish you could take AP seminar?
not particularly.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.